His vision to change status quoism in the armed forces was very well reflected. He was also working on the creation of a strategic rocket force. He was one of the key players who contributed to the conception of the scheme. His vision to change status quoism in the armed forces was very well reflected in his efforts to modernize with a whole of services effort and thrust on indigenization. He drove the process of jointness, integration and optimization of resources, and there was a great effort to create viable theatre commands. As far as jointness goes, the AFSOD, or the Armed Forces Special Ops Division, the DCYA, as well as the Space Agency, they all got much thrust during his tenure. He was also working on the creation of a strategic rocket force. There was great thrust for jointness in ops, intelligence, air defense, capability planning and acquisition, maintenance, logistics. He pushed for the joint logistic nodes and a common communication network for all the three services. The joint service applications as well got a big fillip during his time, and indigenous GIS and a defense geospatial agency were again his brainchild and which he pushed towards realization. As far as theaterization goes, he had talked of, he had ordered various study teams to be put in place. The study reports were received, and a fair amount of deliberations as well as wargaming, etc. were also progressed by him. He always believed that as far as theaterization was concerned, there should be unity of command, unity of effort and unification. And talking of the whole of government approach, which is also one of the agendas that he was given from the political leadership, he had worked towards opening the defense airspace for dual use, and also worked towards bringing the competence of the service officers into the other departments of the government as well. Cross-staffing between the services as well as with the MOD was also there in the agenda, and he believed in leveraging the national logistic policy optimally. And as far as optimization of resources or right sizing was concerned, he worked towards the reorganization, reduction of TA units, reorganization of the DGQA, optimal use of infrastructure between the three services, outsourcing of security, and so on. The Agnipath scheme that we see, which was brought into force sometime in the middle of this year, was again he was one of the key players who contributed to the conception of the scheme and working on the nut bolts of it, which happened over almost 2 years and finally fructified in the middle of this year. He's insisted on developing innovative leaders through deep selection, mentoring, mandatory tenures for upcoming officers, senior officers in the services, mandatory tenures in tri-service organizations, tri-service headquarters, common policy on promotion, cross-staffing, and common ACRs. The cadre review was also being progressed under his watch. He pushed for greater intake of women in the armed forces in line with the government policy of Nari Shakti. He did revisit the existing medical and disability norms, and many may not know, but he was instrumental in revising the risk and hardship metrics for the armed forces.